Okay, so that big stone is a slow one, and the small stone is a wee.
Oh, that's how you do that.
Sorry.
Wow, we're just about that much underneath.
So much left of the beach, no one down there.
Look at that, isn't that beautiful? It's a microschist that's been contorted yet more.
Contorted.
Contorted, like squeezed. The mica is the type of mineral within the shiny bit. Amazing.
Yeah. What's it made of?
Again, that's layers of. It's metamorphosed. You see layers of schist and probably with sandstone maybe once. I don't know. See how you.
Okay, you have one more try.
Yeah, one more try, then maybe we should go.
Last chance.
I know what you're hoping. You're hoping.
Oh, yeah!
Ben.
See, that's what I told you. That was stupid.
That was.
Ulster is the Irish province with the UK in it. Many people know this borderless province for the vicious sectarian divide between the UK and Ireland. So did my family once, all of whom have migrated away over the years. This is the story of the next generations, me, my brother and my dad, who all grew up in Scotland attempting to make sense of our ancestral roots in Ulster. Naturally, our trip began in my dad's hometown, Stranraer, where my gran moved to get away from the troubles and raise him. The town is conveniently but without coincidence where you get the ferry to Ireland. Here we began to introduce ourselves to our family that predated the troubles but not the divisions.
Look at that hat. Or is that a tree behind her? There's a tree behind her. I thought it was a huge hat.
It's a tree.
Yeah, it was like Cat in the Hat.
This was my granny and this was my mother, Hope.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And this one here
That's
was
my
my
granny.
Aunt Winsome.
Aunt Winsome.
Who lived in a windmill.
This was the
eventually.
next baby. Rosemary, I always knew her as Auntie Rosemary.
There's a lot of brothers and sisters.
4 girls and eventually 4 boys.
Really?
And my granny was able to climb trees and look after bees and amazing. Look at them all in the plant, look at the nurses.
Yeah.
Employed nurses in those days look after them.
But this is in probably taken in Greencastle, because he was rector of Greencastle at the time.
Yes, where we're going, yes.
Their father.
Rector of Greencastle.
Yeah, rector of Greencastle, County Donegal, for many years.
Yeah, no, this is exactly the view. Wow, cool.
Look.
We're doing a little video.
About me or about the cat?
About you. You can stay. You stand here.
And,
Pretend you're being photographed.
Right. Are you say action?
Yeah, okay,
say action.
start.
So we're in the Republic of Ireland, Greencastle. This is the Green Castle next to where Granny's granny lived, and this is your granny, and so that is.
Keep
Anyway,
going.
Northern Ireland's over there.
The border is there. Can you see the dotted line in the middle of the water?
There's no dotted line in
Oh, it's only on the map, but it's in the middle of the water. Over there, we're in the European Union. Over there is the United Kingdom.
Oh wow!
What have you found? Oh, well done!
Mustard, yes. You think they would be walked along here at all, or
House 2. That's awful, that was a very grand house once.
No, well, we didn't.
them sort of attached while they're as if they've just fallen off, you know. Yeah.
Oh, poor crab.
I know. Such a blessed away.
Been going on a while, immigration.
Yeah, I forgot to put
We
it
can
down.
always share them. We'll do a big album or a big sharing.
Oh gosh!
Yeah, we shared it. Yeah.
Why get my tablecloth?
You drink?
I used to teach in Northern Ireland in one of the towns, and it had a mixed school, which was unusual, and I thought it was wonderful to go and be in a mixed.
Yeah.
First time I'd ever been.
And quite progressive for those
Yes,
days.
it was. It worked beautifully. You know,
You
I didn't
probably-
really ever mix with
Yeah.
her.
You probably were almost like, oh, she's just normal.
Yeah, it was. I remember thinking
maybe-
that. You know, we got on fine. You weren't ever.
Well,
I remember telling my mother off at one point, saying, "Mother, you really shouldn't be saying things like that."
yeah, it's just
You know,
not.
it was so inbuilt into
Yeah.
the older ones. It was
Yeah.
awful.
People just don't really care.
You're lucky you don't have that.
Yeah. The best way is when people just don't.
It's not divided.
It just doesn't define you. It doesn't matter.
It's
One of
interesting.
the best things that actually Jesus was supposed to say, when somebody else quoted it, was just love thy neighbour as thyself. In other words, treat other people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah,
And that is, if everyone lived with that, my God, it'd be a different kind of world, wouldn't it?
yeah.
It's very windy.
Say where we are.
We're at Carrick-a-Reid Road Bridge. We're about to go over
In the north.
in Northern.
What's the difference between Northern Ireland and Ireland?
Just the word northern in space.
What else?
Because actually Donegal is in the north.
Donegal's in.
The north
well,
of the actual...
Interestingly, Ulster was actually
9 counties.
9 counties, whereas Northern Ireland is actually 6 counties. But often people call Northern Ireland Ulster, but actually.
Weathering, look, there's one then.
Let's see. Is it called conglomerate? Has it got different stones within it?
Kind of, well, I think it came down from a volcano and then showers of the stones that were also came back down into it. But look, there's the shapes there. You can see the shapes of the boulders.
Yeah.
Would you like to know
So-
why they left out 3 of them?
Why?
Why
Because
would
they
that be?
had a more Catholic majority than
Yes.
Protestant.
So the border is kind of invisible, as in there are big signs, there's not border points. But I remember as a child, during the Troubles, there was helicopters, there was soldiers, there was half the border roads were closed. It was very restricted. If you're born in Northern Ireland, you can have a British or an Irish passport. You can
Yeah,
also, or both. In
Or
fact,
both.
you can also play for the Northern Irish football team or the Irish football team, maybe, I don't know. Don't know much about football. You can be in Team GB or you can be in Irish Olympic team.
Okay.
So, that was what the Good Friday Agreement established, I think. A kind of shared identity, so everyone was comfortable that their identity was recognised. It's not all about badness, sometimes these things are just about day-to-day life and trying to make things better.
So when it was
Well,
sieged
it
in
always worked
1600, that would have been that siege and when they were...
You have to say something inspiring.
It's ever day 1. It's ever one day. Or day 1.